Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 21 updates and spoilers. We've got 2 house guests of the day because it's that time of the year when we need to start doubling up because you guys are so awesome that I can't just keep it to 1 a day for the whole season. So thank you so much. Alright, so our house guests of the day are Justin Wagner and Justin. Thank you so much, Justins, for the support. We could not do this without you, and we really, really appreciate it. So thank you again, and if you guys want to be house guests of the day, like Justin or Justin, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Okay, so when we left off yesterday, they had just had the power veto ceremony, and Jackson decided to not use the power of veto, which means that Christy and Nick are still up on the block, and as of right now, Nick will be leaving on Thursday. So Nick and Nicole were chatting in the camping bedroom and he's really sad. He was really banking on getting Tommy's vote this week, and he says that he had Tommy's back 100% and he thought that Tommy had his, but then Tommy went and promised Christy his vote this week because he was afraid of, he didn't know who the prankster was because Nick decided not to tell anybody until his back was against the wall. And Tommy made a deal that he would vote to keep Christy if she promised that if she won the veto, she wouldn't use it. But let's be real, he wasn't going to vote out Christy anyway unless she didn't have the votes to stay. You know what I mean? So, Nick says that Tommy told him in the past that if it was ever Nick versus Christy up on the block, he would keep Nick over Christy. I do remember him saying that, and I remember being like, oh, you better hope that doesn't happen one day because somebody is going to be very upset with you. So he also says that Cliff told him at the beginning of the week that Christy was his target. That's why he picked Christy to sit next to him on the block, because he felt like he really should have had 3 votes in the bag this week, including Nicole's. And he says Nicole is the only person who has had his back 100% since Sam left. Get that jury vote, girl. So Nick says Nicole's in a really good spot right now. He thinks that she'll be fine if he leaves this week. He says you don't even have to win HOH yet. There are so many other big targets left that people are going to go after before they go after you. So you don't have to worry. I always wonder how seriously house guests take advice from somebody who's about to leave, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so I don't know, they're leaving. Should you be taking their advice? I don't know. But anyway, Nick says he's gonna be really salty if he leaves over Christy this week, and he's gonna be pissed at Tommy and like really effing mad, like literally really mad. So Nick says he also doesn't understand why Jackson and Holly haven't accepted his deal yet this week. He's been promising them, basically, I'll do whatever the frig you want. I'll throw as many competitions as you want me to. If you want me to win, I'll put up whoever you want, or I'll use the veto on whoever you want, whatever. He's even told them if he is on the block against one of them and he wins the power veto, that he'll use the veto on them instead of himself. After a certain point, it just sounds like you're just saying anything that you can to get me to keep you, and there's like no way that you would actually do that. And if you would actually do that, why are you even there? Oh my god. So yeah, it just sounds ridiculous. So after a certain point, I think you're hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself. So he says he's a better competitor than Christy, and he would be a better shield for Jackson and Holly and be able to protect them more than Christy would. So why not keep him? They already have that deal with somebody. The thing that differentiates what Nick is trying to do from Christy's campaigning last week is that Christy presented a compelling argument. She was able to turn Nick into this supervillain that Holly and Jackson felt like they needed to get rid of. Like, I mean, Holly already wanted to get rid of Nick, but Christy, like, amped it up even more. So, amped or ramped? I don't know. But, Nick has not really done that. I mean, obviously he's trying to say, like, keep me over Christy, but it's not enough. Like, he needs a bigger target, and he's not doing that. Imagine if he threw Tommy under the bus. That, I feel like, would be on a similar level as to what Christy did with Nick last week, but I don't think I see Nick doing that. You never know though. I mean, we're still a few days out from the eviction. Let's see how desperate he gets. So I don't know if it would work, but it would definitely be entertaining. So anyway, Nick says it's so logical. Everything is so logical for like the reasons that he should stay. Of course. So he says he's just lying low right now for a while. He's gonna look sad for the next few days, and he's gonna just hope that Christy is gonna be overconfident and screw up. I don't know. I mean, it is a possibility. He's gonna campaign on Wednesday and beyond, but he just keeps going back to Tommy. He is disgusted with Tommy right now. Again, maybe you should throw him under the bus on Taco Tuesday. I don't know. Really play up his connection with Christy. Why is Tommy always so down to keep Christy? So anyway, he says that Tommy was supposed to be loyal to Jack and Sis, voted both of them out. He's supposed to be loyal to me. He's about to vote me out too. And he brings up that's like 3 jury votes that could be going against Tommy. Ugh. So Nick says he plans to be a savage in his eviction speech, and he says Tommy is going to get the brunt of it. I mean, he's saying all this stuff now, but you never know. He could cool down in the next few days and not want to do that anymore. So when he starts campaigning, he's planning on really trying to throw it in Tommy's face that he promised to keep Nick over Christy and really make him feel guilty for making that deal with Christy. So he also says if he's evicted on Thursday, he's gonna walk right by Tommy and right by Cliff on his way out the door. No hugs for them or Christy. Okay, so Nicole says she really feels like she's missing the bigger picture here. Why is everybody so willing to keep Christy again? You know, this will be the 3rd week in a row that she has dodged eviction. I gotta say, it makes sense for Nick, or for Nicole to keep Nick for her game, but for some of the others, not really, because I think he is better in competitions than Christy. He's definitely a huge threat. I don't know. I would want to get rid of Nick, but that's just me. Then again, I'm not even in this game, so who freaking knows? So, yeah. The big picture here is that Tommy and Christy know each other. They have an unfair advantage and an unbreakable bond. So that's what you're missing. So Nick says if he stays, he's only going to have Nicole, Jackson, and Holly's backs. It's so odd that he's like willing to stand up for Holly and Jackson when they're the ones that are getting rid of him this week. But I guess what he's saying is if he stays, it's going to be because Holly and Jackson wanted him to stay. He would need Jackson's vote, so I guess he would, you know, then be loyal to them, which makes sense. But anyway, it just sounded funny at first. So Nicole is like, yeah, you should pitch this to Jackson and Holly. Really let them know that you're not with Tommy or Christy or any of them anymore. So then Nicole was chatting with Holly in the HOH room. They were both eating some cereal. It was a cereal party. And Nicole is trying to push that Nick should stay this week over Christy. So Nicole says, look, I understand why you put Nick up on the block and why he would need to go, but I feel like Nick and Christy are kind of even, like threat-wise. She says one's an apple and one's an orange, but they weigh the same. So profound. So Holly says, I'm happy the nominations stay the same because my goal this week is to take out a big threat, and Nick is my target. I don't see that changing. However, if the vote did flip, she says at least a big target is going to go no matter what, you know, so she's got that going for her. But again, she would prefer for Nick to leave. So Nicole says, okay, well, when my back was up against the wall, you know, when everybody turned on her and she was almost evicted, Jackson was comforting her and told her that he believes in second chances. You know, everybody deserves a second chance. So she says Christy was already given a second chance, and now it looks like she's going to survive the block again. And that scares her. Is she just going to you know, keep surviving until the end, and then when she gets to the final two, she's going to be able to say, look how many times I avoided eviction. That's scary to go up against. And she says, Nick hasn't really been given a second chance yet. Really? I feel like he's been given a ton of chances. Just because he didn't end up nominated for all of his caught doing wrong things or whatever. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that he wasn't given another chance. I think she's equating all these second chances or whatever with somebody going up on the block and it looks like they're gonna go and then they don't. But I feel like Nick has been given other chances where he's like messed up with his allies, but then they were like, you know what, we're gonna keep the group together. So they didn't end up putting him up, but I feel like they were still giving him another chance. And Holly says, yeah, but I've put him up on the block before. He won the power veto and took himself down. And then I put him up again and he is handed America's Prankster. A lot of them seem to really think that production basically chose Nick to get the power instead of America voting for him. Scandalous. And she says he got to play in the veto again this week. So Nick has gotten multiple chances. And Nicole's like, all right, you right. So Holly says she feels like if Christy stays, people are going to continue to want her out. She's still going to be a target. But Nick, he could kind of like get back in with people. I don't know. So then Nicole brings up, okay, say Christy stays and wins HOH next week. Who do you think she's going to put up? She says, could be Cliff. And, you know, they have this Final Four deal now with Nicole, Cliff, Jackson, and Holly. So they're all trying to look out for each other. So Holly's like, okay, I see what you're saying, but who would Nick put up if he won? And Nicole says, well, Nick is quite pissed at Tommy. Big time. And Holly's like, even if that's true, I still think that Nick would not put up Tommy if he won HOH. You know, they have this foundation together. There is that familiarity because they've worked together so closely for so long. So even though he's angry with him now, that doesn't necessarily mean he would actually put him up on the block. So Holly thinks maybe Jess and Cliff could be going up on the block. Okay, so then Holly's asking Nicole, have you heard of anyone going after me and Jackson specifically? Like, have you heard any whisperings of that? So Nicole says, I don't want to say any names. You know, she's keeping up that whole thing at first. But then eventually she does admit Tommy has possibly been talking about Holly and Jackson. Tommy didn't want to name names either, but she says that Tommy said there are big players in this game that this whole thing is hopefully going to get turned around on. And like they're going to become the next targets. So Holly says, I have been concerned that Nick, Tommy, and Christy are working together like as a three or something. Because she thought it was pretty weird that Nick was trying to get Jackson to use the veto on Christy instead of himself this week. It was pretty freaking weird that he wouldn't just campaign to get himself off the block. So Nicole's like, all right, I know it looks like I'm pushing an agenda right now. I'm sorry, but Nick really is pissed at Tommy, like for real, for real. So Holly says, oh, it's okay. Like, I know you're not pushing an agenda. Like, I value your opinion. I respect it. I want to hear it. But Holly still feels like Nick is going to work with Tommy if he stays. So Holly's not really budging in this conversation. She wants Nick out. She says he's going to bulldoze his way to the end if he stays, and nobody's going to beat him in the end. So then Jackson joins them, and Jackson is also reinforcing that Nick's got to go this week. Jackson says he's not really worried about Christy right now. You know, they've got a deal with her from last week, and he's convinced that at this point Christy would throw the next HOH. What? Because he says she doesn't have anybody that she could put up. She's got deals with all these people. So he's saying if she did win, he doesn't feel like she would put them up. You are hilarious. Oh my God. When did Jackson get so funny? So Jackson says he would ideally like to see Jess win HOH and put up Cliff and Tommy, and then they could vote out Tommy, and then all 4 of them, Jackson, Holly, Nick, I keep saying that, Nicole, not Nick, and Cliff would all get to play in the next HOH competition. Okay, but like, that's assuming that Jess would even put up Cliff and Tommy, and what if Tommy wins the power veto? Then what? Ah. So yeah, Holly and Jackson were chatting alone after Nicole left, and Holly says, you know, I'm not really surprised that Nicole is pushing for Nick to stay. She was expecting that, and it seems like they're not really bothered by it because they feel like Nicole is going to vote with them at the end of the week anyway, so they're not really worried about it. But Holly also shares the information about Tommy possibly targeting them, and Jackson's like, that's interesting, because he talked to Tommy earlier, and Tommy and him were both saying it doesn't make sense for us to go after each other, you know, we need to stick together. But the we that he was referring to meant Jackson, Tommy, and Cliff, because they would be the only 3 guys left if Nick were to leave. So Holly's like, wait, does that mean Tommy would be targeting me? So Jackson says, you know, Tommy could just be saying all this to me to keep me at ease. Yeah, I could definitely see Tommy putting up Jackson and Holly. Or maybe not Jackson and Holly, maybe more like Jackson and Cliff. Because I think he does still want to keep that relationship with Holly. But I could see him going after Jackson. So Jackson feels good with everyone at this point. He says he's gonna throw the F out of this next HOH competition. Oh my god. That is so dumb! And here's why. Meanwhile, Christy and Tommy are chatting outside. And Christy says, big moves have got to be made now. It's time. And Tommy says, well, who's gonna be the one to do it? And Christy says, I have no problem doing it. Sounds like she's talking about putting up Holly and Jackson, because what other big move would she be referring to? So Tommy says, really? And Christy says, it's a game. I don't have any deals with anyone, and that's why my campaign is good, because I really don't have deals. I don't have promises made. I'm out of my contract now. It's been a week. Tommy says, that's really good. Wait a second. She's out of her contract? That is not the deal that she made with Jackson and Holly. 1 week? 1 week? What happened to, I'm fine with working with you guys until Final 5 and then I'll just go. That is not what she told them. 1 week. Oh my god. So they both say that they feel good with Cliff, and it sounds like Christy would definitely target Jackson given the chance. Whoa. I mean, we knew this was coming. And honestly, I'm all for it. I think it would be exciting. We know that Jackson's got to go anyway, you know. Just because he made some exciting moves before doesn't mean that I am like rooting for him now. Me anyway. I don't know what you guys think, but I'd be into Christy taking out Jackson. That'd be exciting. Okay, so later, prank week continues. We've already seen that the Big Brother house has been full of clowns all season, but now they're in the walls too. There are these freaking scary, creepy clowns appearing in the mirrors. Ugh! And Nicole is freaking out. I mean, everybody's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But Nicole is really freaking out. So she's saying she wants everyone to stick together and they should all stay up all night and talk so the lights stay on. And a bunch of the house guests are saying, like, if those clowns come in this house, my reflex is gonna be to punch them. So don't do it. So yeah, this is going on for a few hours. They're just popping up every once in a while in the mirrors. Everybody's afraid to like go off on their own. So then Nicole is in the diary room and Cliff decides, guys, we should all prank Nicole. So they're all gonna hide while Nicole is in the diary room. Oh, and then when she comes out, she's gonna be so freaked out. So yeah, they do it. Everybody is up in the HOH room watching on the spy screen except for Jackson, who decides to stay and hide in the bathroom area behind like the couch cushions. So Nicole comes out of the diary room and she's just like, where is everybody? So she immediately starts panicking. She doesn't even look for them. She just starts panicking when she doesn't see them in like the immediate area. So Big Brother gets in on it too. They've got clowns popping up in mirrors. Some of them are making like bird motions with their hands. Oh, you sick. You are sick. And Nicole's like, oh my God, this is how I die. This is the end of Nicole, Marie, Frances, whatever. I can't remember all her names. But everybody is watching this in the HOH cracking up. It's too bad there's no sound on that HOH camera, right? So they're, you know, they know that she's not like about to die for real because she's like laughing, and it's not like she's about to have a heart attack. She's freaked out, but she's also laughing through it. So Big Brother also briefly turns the lights out in the kitchen, and she's like, ah! And she's saying like, I don't like this, I don't like this. Yeah, she's just freaking out. So eventually she starts to go through the house and look for everybody. She's kicking open doors. She does find Jackson. Jackson makes up some lie saying that like, oh, 4 clowns popped up and they told us that we have to hide. No. So she also finds everybody else upstairs, and Jackson tried to pie Nicole in the face, but he missed. And yeah, that was that. So it was a lot of fun, and it seems like, ooh, this is another opportunity for Nicole to cement her America's Favorite Player status, because everybody's gonna love this. How could they not? So then the clowns kept popping up throughout the night. Everybody was freaked out. I think some of them were even pointing at Nicole because obviously she had the biggest reaction to them, so they're gonna keep targeting her. But anyway, the only other interesting thing really last night, Holly is starting to get paranoid. She was talking to Jackson, and she's really worried now that Tommy is targeting her after what she heard from Nicole. And then she's like, oh wait, is Tommy like being weird with me now, or is that just because of what Nicole said? So she's starting to second guess her relationship with Tommy, and she's like, what if Nicole and Tommy flip the vote this week and save Nick, and then they're all coming after us? That would not be good. So they're also starting to wonder, after this week, should we be targeting Christy or should we be targeting Tommy? We also saw before they were thinking about targeting Jess, but now they're starting to not really be that worried about her. They've had some good conversations with her, and they feel like they should worry more about Christy and possibly Tommy. They're not sure if they want to go after Tommy or try and like fix things with him. So anyway, today, nothing really that exciting happening so far. I will say, Christy and Tommy had a little like whisper this morning. It was hard to hear exactly what they were saying, but it sounded like Christy was talking about Nick's campaigning that he's going to be doing, and yeah, basically what she expects from him. And Christy told Tommy again that her contract with Holly and Jackson is over after this week, and if she wins HOH, she'll put them up on the block. Oh my God! That'd be so crazy. So yeah, I don't know. Is Nick gonna get anything going today? I'm not sure, because he said he was gonna wait until Wednesday, but you never know what's gonna pop up. I think it'd be super fun if he did some sort of Taco Tuesday blow up, but I don't think that's gonna be happening as far as I know. I don't know. Yeah, we've got 2 days left until the eviction, so let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.